All right, testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 1 and 1. There we go. All right. Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the Hollywood Actor Podcast. I'm calling this episode 1. It's a resurrection, so to speak, of the Hollywood Actor. It's been a minute. I am still in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have been interviewing actors here that are based here in the Duke City. Actors that bounce between LA and Albuquerque. And a lot of actors that are based in Los Angeles that have moved out here to the land of enchantment. A little bit of the technical aspect of it. I've migrated from Libsyn, and I've imported all of my episodes to this Substack. So it seems great. Seems like it's really creator-focused. Helps to build our audience, our community here. And I'm looking forward to putting out a lot more of this, of a lot of stuff, of connecting. And that's what this episode is right now. It's a reintroduction to who I am, Jamie H. Jung. I'm an actor, many years. Got my undergraduate degree at Queen Mary of the University of London. I was in performance studies. I studied at the Stella Adler Studio of Acting in New York for 3 years. That was a professional drama school. And I moved to Albuquerque when my parents did. Moved out to Los Angeles for 4 years, just checking that out. Went through the Stan Kirsch studios. Many of you guys will be familiar with Stan Kirsch. The Killian. Oh, Killian. Yeah, his commercial boot camp. And found my people through some terrific agents that I'm still working with, a manager, and found various partners, including Sierra Marshall. Shout out to Sierra. She was helping me with this Insta series called Between Figueroa and Hope. And so, even though I'm an actor, I've been writing for many years, and that started in London at the Royal Court Theatre. I was writing plays. I wrote Preacher Man, which I staged on 42nd Street in about 2013. And I've continued to write. I have a drawer full of about 8 feature films. Put together this Insta series Between Figaro and Hope when I was in Los Angeles, looking around me, seeing what I could do, what resources I had around me, what people I was running into that I wanted to have in my orbit. And that's a big genesis of what the Hollywood Actor Podcast was all about, and continues to be. A way of me communicating professionally and personally on a regular basis to people I run across, good friends, the general public at large, people that are of a kind, people that are based here in Albuquerque, central New Mexico, southwestern United States, and internationally, people that are looking to push forward. In the last 2 years, I created my company called Keep Pushing Pictures. And that was because I've continued to generate work. I co-produce with a line producer here in New Mexico, Reinhard Lorenz. We met on a U.S. Eagle Federal Credit Union commercial where I was acting. That was 3 years ago, almost to the day. And I couldn't believe it. I lived in Germany as well for many years, maybe 5 or 6 years. And he's from Germany. He's from southwestern Germany. And I couldn't believe it that he was living here in Albuquerque, that he was working on all these different exciting projects. And so I started helping him, assisting him to produce some of these projects. One was a pretty high-budget indie film that now has been distributed, national commercials that have come through, and some smaller fare that we're trying to self-generate, and self-finance, find financing for. But in the in-betweens, I realized that not just myself, but a lot of people around me have been working on projects that are these very high-quality projects that take some time. And in the meantime, you try to let people in here and there, try to curate content around those projects. And it made me a little upset that I hadn't been able to find a kind of regular way of reaching out to my community, to people, like-minded people, and to my friends and professionals working here in Albuquerque, LA, all over the world. So really restarting the Hollywood Actor Podcast in this spirit is something I really wanted to do. And using Substack is the perfect medium for that at this point. I'm still exploring, but it's been good so far. And it's a low bar, right? I just want to communicate. I think communication and putting stuff out there is helping me shirk that, shed that idea of perfectionist quality to things. I'm always reminded of this one saying by Pablo Picasso, and it's art is never finished. It's simply abandoned. And I think that speaks to the perfectionism that's in a lot of artists and a lot of people in general, especially here in the West. And we'll probably get into that in future episodes, talking about Western society's interest and pursuit of more, of things, of perfection, of beating out the competition. And I'd rather see it as a communal thing. I mean, I don't want to get too corny about it, but I got into acting to meet people, to be curious about people, to listen to people, to hear their stories. And I want to continue that in my work. And in that spirit, I did want to use this opportunity as I restart the podcast to say that this podcast isn't necessarily going to be me bringing on guests and talking specifically to people and asking them point blank, what do you do? How do you stay sane? I am talking about a specific project at the moment that piggybacks off of my writing and the Between Figaro and Hope Insta series that I was doing in Los Angeles. And this is called Grown-Ass Men. And it's an action comedy, and I'll be shooting it on an iPhone in March and April of next year. I'm going to start crowdfunding next month. And this is really progression of the stepping stones I've had in my life, not just in terms of writing, but my experience. Longer term listeners and those who know me know that I was involved in Rebel Without a Crew, the series, which is obviously based on the iconic indie film director Robert Rodriguez's book, Rebel Without a Crew. In 2018, he turned that into a reality show of sorts. So there was a competition. He chose, in the end, 5 filmmaking teams to make their first feature film for $7,000 in 14 shooting days. And I was lucky enough to be involved in Alejandro Montoya Marin's feature film Monday. That was a short film that we were then able to adapt through that process of the reality show. So it was wild. We had 2 rings of cameras around us at all times. We were actually trying to shoot a movie, and the producers of the TV show were trying to produce and capture content for the TV show, which is still available actually on El Rey Network. You can, I think, finally rent and buy it on Apple TV. So, and that's kind of pushed me forward in terms of looking around me, continuing to see what I have, what I can do, putting out work and communicating, and not waiting for these larger projects to ask me to be involved, but not also waiting for these projects that I'm self-generating to come to fruition before I include people. I want to include people, and I want to share in this journey from the get-go. A little bit of that philosophy I kind of term to myself as found filmmaking. And so it helps incorporate the idea that when you look around you, you're not stuck in your head, you're not looking at the ground, you're not, pre-planning. You're looking around you, you're saying, that's pretty. Or, oh, that'd be a great shot for a scene of X, Y, and Z. And then you remember that. I actually even take out my phone, and I'm sure a lot of people do, especially cinematographers and location scouts, take out their phone and record that moment visually as a sort of bookmark. And what I've been doing with Grown-Ass Men is I've been recording that in high quality using the Blackmagic app in various settings to create the virtually the camera movements I'm looking for, and maybe even the exact lighting of the location I want to use in the final product of the feature film. So it's more than just storyboarding or a lookbook. It's in some ways B-roll, or this content that is helping to establish certain scenes, that is helping to establish the mood, that is showcasing Albuquerque. And I'd like to take listeners inside all of that, and my thoughts as they unfold, the process as it unfolds, this bubbling up of ideas. It's going to help bookmark them as well in a less visual way. In a way that, because the visual way I am trying to have in my DaVinci Resolve timeline, but I'm also trying to release on my various social media platforms, and those are all under KPP Film Production. And again, KPP is Keep Pushing Pictures Film Production, which is a production company I've had for 2 years here, and that's in line with another sentiment from university. It's pervaded my life, this mantra of just keep pushing, just be myopic in that certain way, right? Find a way forward. And that way can be smaller. It can be a different tier. I think we're all trying to, with that expression, aim for the moon and you'll hit the stars kind of philosophy. But I'm looking at things right now as this very solid stepping stones, like amassing these things for this specific tier of my life where I am right now, and enjoying that process and not trying to think of the future and what larger films could be, or, if I only had a little bit more money, or, if I only had a red Komodo camera for this shot, if only this, we had the different lighting at this exact... I don't want there to be if-onlys in my life at all, not just in filmmaking. I don't want to live my life like that. I want to start living my life a little bit more presently and enjoying that process. And this is going to help me keep me honest and help you guys keep me honest too. I want to keep hearing feedback and your experiences on your movie making or your creative endeavors, as well as you are going through those types of processes and trying to remember and hold dear the present moment, what you are getting today, what you have made today, the people you have worked with today, because that's all we really have, right? And these thoughts and processes, again, are for a first-time feature filmmaker. I want to be sharing this knowledge and my process, soup to nuts. It's not, prescriptive, but I want to include people on this journey, and because I love being on other people's journeys. I love seeing their content on the various platforms and following them on these larger projects. So please feel free to like and subscribe to this podcast through the Substack, wherever you're listening to this, and obviously on the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and please reach out. I will respond. This has just been a kind of a brief interview, or I guess really interview of myself and my thoughts, and getting back into the swing of this podcast and what it means to me and what I hope it means to my audience. And if it doesn't mean that, what does it mean to you? What are you getting out of this experience? I'd love to hear your thoughts. But thank you very much for joining me. And again, not to sound corny, but I truly believe that Hollywood is here. It's in you. It's in me. It's inside of us. It's not something that's in Los Angeles only. Obviously, Hollywood, high-quality filmmaking, which isn't even film anymore, is much more democratic. It's all over the world. It's in our pockets in the forms of smartphones. And we're making a lot of that right now for socials, recording our lives, sending little video clips to our friends. Did you see this? I can't believe this. That's filmmaking. And we need to take that back from even our own expectations of what filmmaking should be and say, this is it right here. This is where it lives, on my phone, in my heart, in my eyes. I'm making these beautiful images that are communicating a story, that are revealing something about my neighborhood, about my friendships, about how I live on this planet at this time. All of filmmaking is a record. It's very time-stamped. And I think we need to embrace that more. I think that's a much healthier way to advance our careers, but also to live our lives. So if you enjoy this podcast, you enjoy this journey, then hop on, keep listening, stay in touch, let me know what you think, and let's make movies.